Now we're going to talk about pans. There are two important things to note about a pan. One is its material and its edge. So the material here is Teflon, which is non-stick. So what's nice about this is you can do small things like pancakes, omelets, but the thing here is this has a flared edge. What that means is it's easier for a spatula to come in and it's easier for food to move around. The next thing I have here is a large Teflon pan. The interesting thing about this is I can fry or I can saute in here. So if you take a look at this, right, it's about 1.5 inches high. I can fill it with about 1/2 inch of oil or 3/4 inch of oil and fry something in here. Also, I can saute things as usual. The next thing here is a cast iron skillet. Cast iron things take a little bit more management, but what's really nice about it is it retains heat really well. So what this means is if you cook a steak, right, and I put a steak on a pan, what happens is the pan temperature drops. But for a cast iron skillet, it will retain its heat really well. So by the time you flip it, you're still going to get really nice sear in the steak. If you don't find yourself cooking like steaks or things like that, then sticking with a regular pan like this is okay. The last pan, which is an interesting one, is called a saute pan. This is a stainless steel saute pan, right? The material is stainless steel and the edge is 90 degree. Very important thing to note here. It's not a flared edge. So what happens in the stainless steel, if you look, it's a little dirty here, it's been used. When you cook meat on it, it's just not completely non-stick. So some of the meat is actually going to stick on the pan. So afterwards, you can add, after you cook the meat and you remove it, you add some onions or some wine, and then it peels off the brown bits. So what you're doing is you're cleaning the pan with those onions to take out those like sticky parts of meat, and you're creating a sauce out of it. That's called deglazing. So for these other pans, if you have a Teflon pan, you can't deglaze because it's non-stick. The second thing that's important is to notice is the 90-degree edge. Because it's 90-degree edge, I can saute something in here, right? And I can add liquid, and I can cap it off. Now this becomes a braise. On the other pans, you notice you can't do it, right? This is a slightly flared edge. It's too small. This is way too small. So the thing here is stainless steel has special properties. But for the time being, I would say just start off with these two. These are the most important. And later on, you can move on to a cast iron skillet and stainless steel saute pan.